All right, everyone. Hey guys, welcome back. So we're now on part 15. If you watch part 14, where I created the container, remember at the end of that we had to wait a little while until the DNS itself registered, and I told you I'd put out a secondary part. This is going to be a fairly short one, but I want to show you in the Azure console the fruits of the labor that I went through in terms of building that web app container. Remember? I couldn't do it right away because I had to let the DNS settle out on the internet. It takes about 15 minutes to do so. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that now. So I am right where I left off. I literally didn't go anywhere. I'm in the actual web app container that I created. And what I want you to see here, let's take a look at the metadata. Metadata is explaining exactly what this container, or I guess you would say it's not explaining what the container is, but it is data that's associated with the container. So notice, if you remember, I created this web app container in this resource group, UC_AZ_0034 group, right? I created it there. I was using my pay-as-you-go subscription. And notice the status now. The status of this container is running. And where it's running in the eastern US. Notice the operating system that's associated with this container is Linux, as I mentioned. And the IP address that's associated with this particular application or the container is 20.121.94.146. Now, if you guys try to go out to the web right now and go to that address, you're not going to get to anything, just so you know that. This is only temporary, obviously, and I don't know even how long this video's been out since when you're watching it now. It's now September 15th, 2023. But notice below, here is the fully qualified domain name for it. And that's a pretty big domain name, web app-container, my name, and then, of course, the subscription ID, followed by the zone that it's in, or the region, eastus.azurecontainer.io. Now, again, this is not something that you would traditionally use. You're going to go create your own DNS infrastructure and point this address, this IP address, 20.121.94.146, you're going to point it to an FQDN that you create, like myapp.mywork.com or whatever. This is just the default fully qualified domain name that was created for this particular container. If I scroll down even further, you can see the CPU usage. And again, this is what you're billed for. So if you go back to my previous parts, like part 1 all the way through part 9 or 10, you'll learn about all the costs. And guys, don't forget, subscribe so you can get all the new parts that I'm doing, all the new pieces that I'm doing. And also go back and take a look at all the other ones prior to this. It'll really drive home all the information you're seeing now if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes. I encourage you to do that for sure. But anyway, this is your CPU usage for this particular container application. Now, let's face it, nobody's accessing it, so you're not seeing anything here, but there's a little spike here. The memory utilization for web app container is here. You can see the memory being utilized and the network utilization. How many bytes are being received by that application? And then bytes transmitted as well. That's all there. Now, you can stop the container. You can click stop and it would turn it off. And then, of course, whatever app is inside of that container, it's not going to function anymore, but you can always restart it if you wanted to do that. But if you want to see the container in action, if I go here, notice these little copy to clipboard signs. If I choose this copy to clipboard, and notice it says copied, I just left-clicked it. And I'm going to go up here and open up another page here, and I'll paste it in, and I'll go ahead and I'll hit enter. There you go. Welcome to Azure Container Instances. Again, this is an application. It's a web application that is running. This is just to show you how this application, which is an application hosted in a Linux environment, in a virtual environment, is showing up. Remember, guys, and I talked about this in great detail when we were covering kind of the basics of the cloud. Applications in the cloud are only accessible by the internet, period. So whatever application you want to host has to be internet ready, meaning you have to connect to it over the internet. Now, how do you connect to applications over the internet? Well, how do you connect to anything over the internet? You use a browser, number one, right? Whatever that browser is, like I just did. Or if the application has a client piece, meaning I would have a client running on my computer, I would double click the client and it goes out over the internet and opens up the application. Give you an example. How about if you're using Outlook at home to get your email? You click on your Outlook opens up, it goes out over the internet, connects to an Exchange server, boom, there's your mailbox. Same exact thing. So you can connect to these with a browser, you can connect using a client and a server process. And you would build that into the application that you want to host in the container. And again, this is just a simple test application so you can see it working using that fully qualified domain name. Now, can I also get to it via the IP address? Well, let's try. Here's my IP address, 20.121.94.146. I'm going to copy it to the clipboard. I'm going to go up, open up a page, and we're going to Control V it and paste it, and we're going to hit enter, and boom, there's the application again. So I can access it via IP address. I can access it via fully qualified domain name. But again, guys, the fully qualified domain names are what I call human friendly, right? It's real easy for you to remember www.amazon.com if you want to go to Amazon, right? Pretty easy. But if you had to remember the IP address of Amazon and every other website you want to get to, it would be difficult. So while you can get to it via the IP, you really want to configure your own friendly, fully qualified domain names to get to the app. Like I gave you the example, myapp.myagency.gov or myapp.mycorporation.com, whatever it is. You would build that accordingly. So there you go. Now I do want to show you one more thing. Let's go and click the home button to get back. We're going to go to create a resource, and I want you to see a couple of things here. We're going to go to containers again, just like I did when I started this off in the previous part 14. But notice right here, it says container app. I went to container instances. So all I did is I built a container, right, with one virtual CPU and 1.5 gigs of RAM. That's all I built. And then the app, I just chose a default app that Azure provides so you can test things and figure out how to get things working. But if I go in here to container app, I can actually now turn an application into an application that I want to host in the container. I would go ahead and give it a name, the region, the environment, etc. And I could also build a container right from here as well, right? Enabling my tags, etc. So this is where I would build an actual application that I want to put in the container. And again, I'm not necessarily saying that you're going to develop an application as a developer. I'm saying, hey, we already have this MSI or this executable, and I want to wrap it into a container. Can I do it? As long as it supports standard web access, you certainly can. You can do that from there. So this was just a short part 15 just to show you the container and that container app and to walk you through all of that. I hope you enjoyed this. Hey, guys, I can't stress it enough. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down in the comment section. Give me a thumbs up. It obviously affects the algorithm a little so other people can see exactly what I'm doing. I say it in every video. There's no ads on my videos. I'm not doing this for money. I'm simply doing this to help people. I do this professionally. Okay, I'm not in YouTube professionally. I am a trainer. I have been a trainer for years. I currently work for a training company in Columbia, Maryland. Again, this is 2023. I don't know when you're going to watch this, but As of September 15, 2023, I work for a training company in Columbia, Maryland. I train the federal government. I've been training since 1994, and I plan on putting up literally hundreds of videos because training is very expensive. You know, if you go and you were to take a Cloud Plus class with a training company like Global Knowledge or Skillsoft, or even go to Microsoft and take it, you're going to spend thousands of dollars. Well, guess what? I'm giving you the same class you would spend thousands of dollars on. And I'm going to do this for Security Plus and Network Plus and Certified Ethical Hacking. I have all kinds of things planned for you. So please subscribe, stay in touch with me, and you'll know exactly what I'm going to do at any given time. Hey, guys, don't forget, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do on part 15, but I tell you, it's going to be informative and it's going to be fun. I'll see you when we come back and do another.